Welcome to another episode of the Oatmeal Joey Arnold Show at Joey Arnold. Joey Arnold at Joey Arnold VN. VN for Vietnam. I have some stuff I want to tell you about how to be a streamer as a content creator. I want to tell you so many things about this and about everything. And I like to talk about this stuff sometimes, even though I don't talk about it all the time and I talk about other stuff sometimes, not all the time. Don't listen to the trolls, but listen to the trolls, but don't listen to the trolls. Let me tell you something. I have a million things I try to say. I'm very bad at it when I try to tell people stuff, but I try to tell people stuff. I try to tell people stuff sometimes. I try to tell people many, many things all the time in my life, all my life. And I'll probably fail. I definitely fail all the time, all the time, all the time. But today, I'm going to try to tell you one thing, even though there's so many things I want to say and so many things that are really, really interconnected. And don't let me rant forever. I definitely don't have time because I'm really high on coffee. I had some coffee late at night and I probably shouldn't have done that. And I was thinking to myself, man, I've arrived in Nirvana. Man, I'm in a Nirvana land. Oh man, I'm in a place that I've never been to before. I know I've been here before, but there's this one thing that I want to talk about right now. This one thing. It's about how to be a streamer. Take it from me, a person who's been making over 30,000 videos since '96. A person who's been alive since '85, been online since '95. What do I know? Man, I might be terrible at everything, but I keep on trying. And let me tell you my goddamn secret. A lot of secrets out there. One of them might be pronunciate. You gotta pronunciate. Take it from me, a person who doesn't. Person who doesn't. I mean, might be because I have a broken face, broken chin, broken bike, broken phone, broken microphone, broken life, broken wife, broken a lot of things. So what do I know? I mean, what do I know? I know a lot of things. Believe it or not. I might I might misrepresent it all the time. Oh, a lot of times. But let me tell you something. Whether you have something to say or not, there's one thing you gotta do. Holla. Holla. There's one thing you gotta do. One thing you gotta do. Whether you want to be a streamer or not, whether you have something to say or not, there's one thing you gotta do. One thing. One thing. We're just gonna go with one thing right now, homeboys, homeboy, and so one thing. If you really want to be a streamer, if you really want to be a content creator, if you really want to get some stuff out there, there's one thing you gotta do. One thing you gotta know, man. One thing you gotta know, and I'm gonna tell you it. I really don't want to repeat myself, but then again, I do. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, and a lot of people say a lot of things about this. They'll try to tell you, but let me tell you, as a goddamn guru. How do I say it? Guru, as a goddamn master of everything and nothing. Because some people are like, man, you really gotta know what you want to say before you say it, which might be a good idea. The problem is you might never ever get around to saying it, and then you end up with nothing. And then you might end up trying to force it, or you might just sit around and do nothing and never get anywhere. And some people have a problem with trying too hard, and other people have a problem with feeling overburdened with whatever they gotta do in life, and they never end up they never end up anywhere. Never end up anywhere. Man. Oh man. Oh man. So let me tell you something. Ooh, let me tell you something in this morning stream. In this morning stream. The one thing, I just wanted to say one thing. and it'll probably only take me 5 seconds to say the one thing. Just the one thing that you gotta do if you wanna be somebody, or even if you don't wanna be somebody. Whether you have something to say or not, whether you're ready or not, whether you wanna be a content creator and a streamer or not, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter wh it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you trying to say or not say. The one thing you gotta do is you gotta keep you gotta keep you gotta keep a goddamn log, a goddamn journal. I know you probably heard that before and you're like, I'm not gonna do that. You gotta do it. And it doesn't mean that you have to say anything. I remember learning about that in high school in my goddamn creative writing class. And the goddamn teacher said, you gotta, you gotta, you gotta, you gotta write every day, write every day, write every day. As a goddamn writer. And I'll say it unto you. I'll say it unto you. Doesn't matter who you are. You gotta keep track of what's going on. You think to yourself, well, I'm just gonna keep it in my brain. But the problem with just keeping it in your brain is it's gonna you know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen if you just keep it in your brain and you don't write it out? It starts to go in a loop. It starts to go in a loop. You know what happens when it's in a loop? It starts to drive you crazy. Start to cry, and you're gonna cry, and you're gonna drive somewhere. Where are you gonna go? Off a cliff? I don't know. I don't know where you're gonna go, but it's gonna be crazy. And that's all I wanted to say today. I didn't want to really um talk forever. I mean, I do, but I'm also a little bit intoxicated with coffee. I probably shouldn't have done that. I was streaming only an hour ago, and then I went to bed, and I got up, and I'm like, oh man, I'm a new man. Look at this. I only need an hour of sleep, and I'm already up again. Nah, it can't be that. It must be all the coffee I was drinking because usually I just drink tea at night, which helps. Yeah, tea helps, man. The tea helps. Tea's so good. The tea, like black tea, green tea, put it all together, mix it all up. But last night, I did what did I do? I did coffee. That pumped me up. And now I'm up again. I'm back up. But I tell you, what is your role in life? How-to videos. That's very important. This how-to video is about how to be a goddamn streamer, how to be a content creator. How do you do it? How do you do it? Step 1. Step 1. Get a goddamn paper. Get a paper, write something down. And it doesn't have to be anything. Doesn't have to be a lot. But you gotta keep track of what's happening. You gotta keep track of progress. And it doesn't even have to be words necessarily. It could be scribbles, it could be drawings, but you want to look at something that is visual. You want to look at something that's visual and you want to look at it. You want to look at it again and again. And it's very critical. Very critical. Very critical. Something happened yesterday that was really big. And the president was on. He was live. And a bunch of things were dropped. And that was really good. And I'm happy. Happy about that. Even though some bad stuff's happening over there. And war is bad. But at least some things were dropped after the president went live. And some of the news organizations were like, we're not going to carry that because because they were part of the corruption. ABC, NBC, CBS. They don't want to be a part of it. CNN. They don't want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? CNN, ABC, CBS, all of them. They don't want to be a part of it. They don't want to be a part of it. They don't want to be a part of the revolution. Peaceful revolution. They don't want to be a part of it. And it's unfortunate, but they're a dinosaur. They're a dinosaur. CNN is a dinosaur. ABC is a dinosaur. NBC is a dinosaur. I didn't really want to rant about that today. I'm not here to really talk about that today. I'm not here to talk about that. I don't wanna I don't know I don't wanna bore you with that. I mean I do, but should I? Should I? Should I? Should I? Should I do that again? Man. Man. Should I do that again? Should I? Should I talk about that again? Should I bore you with that again? Man. If you haven't learned anything yet in this goddamn how-to video, all you gotta do is remember, you gotta get a paper. Gotta get a notebook. Gotta write it down. Write it down. What are you doing? Write it down. Doesn't matter if you're doing something or not. You gotta write it down. You gotta write it down. You gotta write it down. Why not write it down? You want to be a better person? Write it down. Write it down. Even if you got nothing to say, write it down. Write it down. You'll become a better person. Even if you're not a better person, even if you think you got nothing. And life is difficult. It's always going to be difficult. You got to enjoy it. Life is like rain. Life is all the same. But seriously, it's like life is rain. And the rain falls down. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to enjoy the rain, or are you going to fight it? Are you going to fight it? If you fight it, that's not good. Not good. Not good. Nope. Nope. Ba ba boopy doo boop. Boop ba ba boop boop boop. So I'm still in this weird situation where I'm still learning things and trying to tell myself, don't drink coffee in the middle of the night. That's what I was doing, man. That's what I was doing. Drinking coffee in the middle of the night. If you drink coffee in the middle of the night, you're gonna feel weird and you might have some crazy dreams, and then you might be up in an hour. Like me. Like what I'm doing right now. I'm just up in an hour. After an hour. I should be sleeping right now, but I had I had a big cup of coffee with a lot of sugar. And now I'm just like bouncing off the wall. I'm trying to calm down a little bit. I think I can handle it, but feel like I might crash. I might crash in a few hours. I mean, it's not going to be noticeable. I'm probably going to feel it. I'm probably going to feel it a little bit, but I probably shouldn't make it a habit. I should not make it a habit, but I do sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And not good, but it's kind of funny. And it's weird. It's weird to wake up after an hour of sleep, or after a short time. You wake up and sometimes you remember your dreams. And I had one of those meta dreams a few minutes ago. One of those uh Inception dreams. I wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio. I wasn't really in Inception, but it was almost like a dream that I've had before. Like sometimes I have all sorts of dreams sometimes, and this dream was like, how do I say? I'm somewhere like I'm in a factory, or I don't know what it was. It must have been a big building, and it it must have been like in a big city, in a big building, like I want to say it was a tall building, but I don't know. But um, they turn off the lights and they want everybody to go, I think, and everybody's supposed to leave the building, and I'm still there, and I'm like thinking to myself, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna like close my eyes, and it's dark, and maybe nobody will see me. Maybe I can just like become invisible. Maybe I can just like uh blend into the wall. Maybe I can just like float into the wall, or maybe something. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm hoping that something would happen. But I don't know what happened. I don't know if people left, but there were people going around, and eventually they noticed me, and then they were messing with me. I don't know why. I don't know what they were doing. Uh, but then I was like sleeping, and I wanted them to know that I knew that they were there. And so I was like trying to wake up to let them know that I knew that they were around me. And I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing to me? What are you trying to do to me or something?" I don't know what's happening. I don't know what was happening, but uh I was trying to interact with them. And then I was thinking to myself, "Okay, am I actually doing this? Like am I actually talking in the dream? Because I'm sleeping in the dream, but I'm trying to wake up, but I'm still in the dream because this is like some kind of inception dream, like a dream within a dream, and I'm like waking up in my own dream to talk to them because they're in my dream, and they're in the building, and it's dark and nobody can see anything because it's a dark room, and it's like a warehouse room, and I'm like trying to talk to them, and I'm trying to like push them away. I'm trying to tell them to get out of here. Get out of here. What are you trying to do to me? What what are you doing it? What's going on? You know what I'm saying, Dylan? I'm in an inception dream, and I'm trying to wake up. But then I'm thinking to myself, am I actually out of the dream yet? And when I'm talking to them, am I actually talking in real life? Or am I only talking in the dream? And I'm trying to wake up. I'm I'm not sure if I'm actually trying to wake up, but I'm becoming more aware, and then I'm trying to figure it out. I want to figure it out, and I'm like asking myself, am I up, or am I still dreaming? Am I thinking about this in my dream, or have I escaped? Am I Leonardo DiCaprio in Inception? Am I out? Did I escape, or am I still stuck? Eventually, I did wake up, and I realized nothing happened, and it was all a dream. It was a dream inside a dream inside a dream or something, but still, it was kinda crazy, and it wasn't the first time. It wasn't the first time that I've ever had a dream like that, or I've had crazier dreams where I feel like I have to wake up and I have to do something, otherwise reality disappears, like all of reality, like anybody who's ever been alive, and this time itself, and even the past and the future will be no more, kind of thing. Like it goes beyond like anything you could ever imagine. And it's like one of those dreams, one of those kinds of dreams. Like I've had those kinds of dreams many times all my life, where you feel like you have to do something because because you have to. I mean, the fate of the world is resting in your hands, on your shoulders, and if you don't do it, all of reality will cease to exist. It's like crazy. And then I have other dreams where like it's almost like I'm coming out of my body and I'm, what do they call that? Lucid dreaming. And I'm like flying through the air, but then I'm flying to space and I'm going through multiple galaxies and I'm going faster than warp speed, warp 9, warp 10, warp 20. I'm going out of the universe, out of all the universes, going out of all of the dimensions. And I'm looking at everything from a far away perspective. And it just feels like something you never felt before. Like going that fast feels like something like a roller coaster, but worse than that because it feels like something you never experienced before. And I used to have dreams like some of my oldest dreams were me feeling like I was getting sucked into the planet, like into some kind of vortex. Felt like I was getting sucked into something and that I had to fight. Otherwise, I would stop breathing and I would stop existing. And it's almost like something was trying to take me into the ground and take me somewhere. And ironically, I think somebody else had that. Tiffany might have had something that was similar, which is weird, but maybe some people have these things. I don't know. I haven't really asked a lot of people about it, but it's crazy. But hmm, I was gonna make another video. Yeah, I was gonna make a video called the oatmeal prayer. The oatmeal prayer. What would be the the oatmeal prayer? What would it be? It would be something like, dear dear uh dear Heavenly Father, I pray for patience, a little bit of patience. Pray for a little bit of patience, a little bit of strength, and a little bit, a little bit, a little bit of wisdom in your name. Amen. And that's it. The oatmeal prayer. Pray for a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Yo, what's up? Oatmeal prayer. What is the oatmeal prayer? Oatmeal prayer. You pray for, in the oatmeal prayer, you pray for a little bit, of patience, strength, and wisdom. And if you want to be a goddamn streamer, if you really want to be a streamer, if you want to be a content creator, you got to have paper. And write it down. Write it down a little bit. A little bit. You got to write down a little bit every day. Just Doesn't really have to be a lot. Doesn't have to be a lot. But you just gotta write it down, and you gotta take a breath. That's why you pray. That's why you pray for a little bit of patience. And it's difficult if you are a workaholic. You're trying to get to the top of the mountain. And it's good that you work, but it's bad that you never rest. For the other people, they're lazy hobos. They never go anywhere and they have to be pushed. A lot of people have to be pushed and they're overwhelmed. And so you have to help them one step at a time. One step at a time. You have to help them with one little thing. You gotta be like, hey, take one more step. All right. Because everybody gotta get to the top of the mountain. You gotta get to the top of the mountain, but it's like a lot of people feel overwhelmed. You feel overwhelmed. You feel super overwhelmed, and a lot of people just they end up looping. They end up a mouse in a wheel, stuck in a cage, stuck in a maze. You end up going nowhere, and you got to push those people. A lot of people do that. Everybody does it sometimes. I do it. You do it, but some people do it a lot more. A lot more. It's a lot worse. And you got to push those people. Other people, they work too hard. Gary, you work too hard. Some people work too hard and they got to learn how to take a step back. They got to take a step back and breathe a little bit. I don't know which of the two you might be. I mean, obviously you're going to be a combination of both. Everybody is, but which one are you most of the time? A lot of people are not workaholics. A lot of people are not inner driven. Unfortunately, if you are really inner driven, you're probably in the top 1% in the world. And you might understand a little bit of what I'm trying to say. I might be butchering it. I might be really bad at what I'm trying to say. And you probably shouldn't even listen to me, but I'm still going to try to say it. Haha. No, seriously, like I'm still going to try to say everything that I've been saying forever. Everything, not just this video, but everything, all 30,000 videos, all my thousands of hours of content that I've been making for 30 years. I'm still going to do it. I got a microphone and it's glowing and your life can glow. But if you're driven from within, you got something that not a lot of people have. You're probably in the top 1% if you're really, really, really inner driven. I mean, everybody has to be a little inner driven sometimes. Sometimes you're going to be a little bit inner driven, but some people are really, 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 really inner driven. The people like Michael, all the Michaels, all the goddamn Michaels, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Michael Phelps, Michael Kurtz, all of them. If Michael the Angel, the archangel, working for God himself, if you're Michael, you probably got something going on. Probably. You know what I'm saying? Probably. But if you're not, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about. You probably don't understand what I'm talking about. But I just wanted to quickly make this video. And I apologize if this video is lagging or dropping frames and dropping audio. Man, what am I gonna do about it? Maybe I shouldn't do live streams. It's pretty disappointing because if I dare rewatch this, I'm probably gonna find some mistakes. But what are you gonna do about it? Hmm. Hmm. Sometimes you gotta take a take a step back. You gotta breathe and you gotta laugh at yourself. You really gotta laugh at yourself. And you got to move on. You gotta ask yourself, what can I do right now? And do it. And then you gotta say to yourself, all right, it's done. And then you gotta move on and go on and go to the next thing. But that's it's really difficult to do, believe it or not, especially if you're not really, really self-driven. For a lot of people, they're not self-driven, and that's why they have a boss. A lot of people don't want to be their own boss. That's why they work for a boss because you don't want the burden of bossing yourself around. So you outsource it to somebody else. So if you got Gary, if you got problems, what do you do? Hypothetically speaking, if you have problems, what do you do? Hmm. Let me think about this. If you really did have a really bad problem, you gotta have some, try some garlic, try some apple cider vinegar, try some cranberry, try to Google it, ask AI for natural remedies, and try a few things. Try a few things, write it down on your goddamn notebook, your journal. Whether you want to be a streamer or not, whether you want to be a content creator or not, whatever you are, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you write it down and you look at it every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. You gotta you gotta write it down every day. Write it down. That's the that's the moral of the story for this how-to video. This this how-to video. That's what I want you to know. That's what I want you to remember today. That's right. That's right. That's what I want you to know. Hmm. I was thinking about uh watching some of my videos in a live stream. I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. But hmm, you gotta learn how to be you gotta learn how to be happy with yourself. You gotta learn how to take it take it a step at a time. You gotta learn how to not be so jealous. Gotta learn how to be a little bit less jealous. Man, be a little bit less jealous. Oatmeal forever. That's odd. You do gotta be a little bit less jealous down in your heart, and you gotta do the oatmeal prayer. Goddamn oatmeal prayer. God, dear Heavenly Father, I pray for a little bit of, a little bit of, just a little bit, just a little bit of, a little bit more, patience, wisdom, strength. Amen. 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 Hallelujah. But seriously, you gotta do that. Sometimes gotta close your eyes. You gotta do it. You gotta do that. Gotta do it. It's good for the soul. And you know it. I know it. We know it. I know that you know it, and you know that I know it, and we all know it. We all know it together. And it's one big knowing party. We all know these things together because it is self-evident. Self-evident. Very, very self-evident. Evident. Very self-evident and very self-explanatory. It is. Whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not. Oh man, that DVD player. Winding up that DVD, those home videos. That's already on YouTube. I already uploaded those videos on YouTube. It's been on YouTube. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them. It's already been on YouTube for the world to see the last 20 years or so. And I don't know why you haven't seen it, but it's already been public, totally public, uploaded, public for the world. Mm. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm. Wow. Wow. Alan 1 and Alan 2. Wow. Well, who are all these Alan people? Mm. Mm. Oh man. Oh man. Mm. 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 You have to be okay. You have to be okay with what you have. It doesn't mean that you don't fight for more, because you probably should. Mm. But you probably should not go after all of the shortcuts. You probably shouldn't go after all the shortcuts. Take it from me. I'm a person who's like goes after shortcuts. I mean, I go after that stuff because I want everything. Basically. I mean, not everything, but a lot of I just want to like I really want to influence the world. I've always been like that. Very inner driven since I was about 8. I was so inner driven, even though ironically I've been pretty shy, pretty introverted. Yet I really wanted to be on the stage, really wanted to be in front of people, whether people are laughing or not. I wanted to be up there. I always wanted to be up there, and I always wanted this kind of attention, not just for itself only, but really wanted to try to encourage people, not just make them laugh, but move people into a direction that gets things moving, gets the ball rolling. But I would spend my life trying to force things to happen. You know, like I would really really try to make things happen, which is good that I'm not a lazy slob. It's like a lot of people are lazy slobs or something. A lot of people are. A lot of people are lazy slobs or something. But for other people, they're really crazy. They're really inner driven. They're really psychotic in a way because they're just addicted to getting out there and doing things like some kind of entrepreneur, like a goddamn entrepreneur. Not a lot of people have that all the time. I mean, everybody has it sometimes, and some people have it for some things, and it's good, but it can drive you crazy, and it can drive everybody crazy, everybody around you crazy, even if your intentions are in check, even if you know what you're doing. Maybe you know what you're doing, but are people gonna be okay with it? Are people gonna handle? Are people gonna be able to handle it? Like, are people are like, will people put up with your crap? The answer is no, no, no. Maybe some people, maybe a little bit sometimes, but it's difficult for people who are inner driven. People who are inner driven are like they're they're trying to go a million miles an hour, and a lot of people are going to tell them to slow down, and it's true in a way. And for the most part, for a lot of people, like, you do gotta you really gotta let you really gotta like find a way to pace yourself. You gotta and that's why you gotta write things down. You gotta write things down, which is the one thing that I wanted to say in this video, and I didn't really want to rant about my life for the whole entire time. That might be saved for another stream, which I've talked about a little bit. I've talked about that. I've talked about myself, and I want to, and I probably shouldn't, but I want to, and I already have badly, most of the time, very badly, with the thousands of videos, and they deleted over 20,000 videos, and I have thousands of hours of content, but bad content. Some of it's okay, but it's like I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. I want to rant about my life, and I think it's really cool, and I also think it's terrible. I think it's cool and terrible. Cool and terrible. Cool and terrible is really cool. My life and everything. But at the same time, I wanted this stream to be a little bit more focused on one topic. Now, I don't know if this is good that I'm trying to talk a little slow. Talk a little slow. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. But sometimes I really do wanna I do wanna I wanna try to talk a little bit faster. But you know, life I don't know. Life is funny sometimes. Sometimes I'm listening to people talking. There are some people, like, I've done this sometimes, many times. Sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes I do this going back many years. I'm listening to people, and they tell the same story again and again and again. Don't you just hate it? Don't you just hate it? when you're listening to somebody, usually an old person. You're listening to somebody and they're telling you the same story, the same story. They're telling you the same story that you heard before. And you're asking yourself, does the person remember? Does the person remember that they already told me the story? Do, does the does the person remember? Does that person remember? Does that old person or young person or whoever remembers? Do they remember? Do you remember? You already told me that story. You already told me that. And sometimes, sometimes you're thinking that. You might say something, you might not. You might just let it go. You might you might let it go. But sometimes I'm thinking to myself, "Oh no. I wonder how many times I'm doing that. How many times am I that old guy? How many times am I that old guy? How many times am I like on the internet, for example, how many times am I like on the internet and I'm like, "Hey guys, remember that time I stuck mice in a tree in 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 towels, in buckets, and they froze to death and fell off and died, except for one bat that got back in the house?" And I'm thinking to myself, "What a great story. I l love that story." But am I Richard? Am I just an old guy telling the same story again and again? And what does that make me? Hmm, hmm. And should I do it? Or or should I not do it? Should I rant again and again about myself? Should I go over the same stories again and again? And the answer is, why not? I mean, you might wanna you might wanna cool it down sometimes. You might wanna take a step back sometimes. You might wanna cool it sometimes. You might wanna not do it all the time. You might wanna take a breath, which I haven't really done in this stream a lot. I've been talking for about an hour. But, I mean, I do enjoy this. I don't know how helpful this is. I've thought about this stuff forever, and I think that there is some good in this. And some people have a gift at doing that. Some people are really good at it. I don't know if I'm really, really good at this. I think I am good at some stuff. I want to believe that I'm good at this, and I definitely do feel like I am, at least sometimes. A little bit. At least I try a little bit, even though I make a lot of mistakes and stuff, a lot of typos, and a lot of mispronounced words, and a lot of things taken out of context, and so on and so forth. But at least I feel good about it sometimes, even though I got a lot of trolls going after me. But, what are you gonna do about it? 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 You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Uh, mm, what is my life advice for myself? Mm, Don't don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your don't don't put all your eggs in one basket, man. Don't 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 put all your oatmeal in one bowl. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't put all your oatmeal in one bowl. Take a step back. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes, but doesn't mean you're not gonna get there eventually. But you don't have to get there right now. But you do need to try to get there every day, every step at a time. You gotta you gotta get there. You gotta try to get there. For some people, they just don't try at all, and other people they try too hard. And you want to be somewhere in the middle. That's it. That's all you need to know. I mean, it's not all. I mean, it's not all you need to know, but it's like you got to close your eyes sometimes. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you gotta close your eyes. Sometimes, first you want to write it down. Doesn't have to be a lot, and it could be a scribble, it could be a line. Doesn't have to be words, and it doesn't have to be a lot of words. You can write one word a day, one word a week, one word a month, one word a year. It could be a scribble, it could be a drawing. You could spend 1 second or 1 hour. You should try to be consistent, but you don't have to try too hard, but you want to write something down. You want to try to write something down. You want to tell yourself, think of the rows, Diggs. You want to keep a journal if you want to be a content creator, if you want to be somebody, or you don't have to be a content creator. Whatever you want to be, you should write it down. And you should write it down again and again and again. Diggs for 3 roses, man, 3 roses. And in life, you got to do the oatmeal prayer. You close your eyes and say, dear God, give me a little bit, just a little bit more patience, wisdom, strength. Amen. That's it. And you got to keep a journal, write it down, whether you're a goddamn content creator or not, whether you have something to say or not. You got to just write down something every day. Every day. Write or scribble or draw for 1 second. You say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna write something down for 1 second every day. You wake up or go to bed or something and be like, okay, I'm gonna write something down. You try to write it down, even if it's not words. You just be like, okay, I'm writing this down for myself. I'm keeping a diary, keeping a journal, even if I'm a man, not just a woman can do this. Not just a woman can do this. You don't have to be a goddamn woman. You don't have to have boobs to do this. Don't have to. Don't have to be a woman to do this. You can write that girly and not girly to write. And not girly to write. And you want to keep it. You want to hold on to it. You want to be able to go back to it sometimes. You don't necessarily have to read it all the time. But sometimes you want to look at it or pretend to look at it, but that's not important. I mean, it's not very important. I mean, it's a little bit important, but it's more important just to write it down. And you don't even have to know what you write it down, but you just gotta have the habit, lifestyle. You gotta have the lifestyle. And that's all I wanted to say in this how-to video. And I probably should focus my life a little bit more on this and a bunch of other stuff too, and not just on ranting. And my desire was I'm gonna run away from. I'm gonna slowly crawl away. Okay, I'm gonna crawl away from ranting and stuff. The ranting, the stuff that I do, the stuff that I do for many, many, many years. If you're new here, you don't know what I'm talking about. If you're new, hi. Hi, I'm Oatmeal Joey Arnold. I'm a streamer. I'm a content creator for the last 30 years. Hi, JF. Hi, I'm a content creator, and you probably don't know anything about me because a lot of people lie about me, and so they misrepresent me, and you probably think I'm something that I'm not, but I'm still somebody. Even if I suck at it, I still try. I still try, even if I'm an alleged pretend low-cal. Even if I have a lot of low-cal people going after me, trolls going after me, and I try to block them or whatever, like, does that even matter? I don't know. But the moral of the story, what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is you take life a day at a time. Try not to rush. Try not to rush. If you're a workaholic, you got to slow down. A lot of people got to speed up because they're lazy slops. A lot of people are lazy slops. And if you're a man, you got to learn how to say no to your woman. Say no to your woman. And you can learn more about this from the goddamn Fresh and Fit people. They're on TikTok. They're on TikTok. They're on YouTube. You can just type in Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit. And they can learn. They can learn. And you can learn. They're probably learning something. I don't know. But you can learn. Okay. You can learn from them. You can learn from them. And you probably should. There's so many things you got to learn. A lot of things I got to learn. And a lot of men are too soy, too weak, too weak, too weak. A lot of men don't know how to say no to their women. And that's not good. Sometimes you gotta be a man. If you're a man, you gotta be a man. You really gotta be a man if you're a man. If you're a man, you gotta be a man. Sometimes you just gotta be a man if you're a man. If you really are a man, you gotta be a man. You gotta learn how to say no. Now, sometimes you might take it too far, and that's not good either. Like for me, I I I did say no too much sometimes in my life, especially around 2014. I was doing it. I mean, I do it sometimes. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes I don't do it. It's a long story, and I'm not here to rant about it, but it's very applicable for now. Really quickly, it's hard to explain what I'm talking about without telling you everything about my life, everything. But without telling you everything, oh man, without telling you everything, I was gonna say really quickly. In 2014, I had a good thing, and I ruined it. Not totally, not absolutely, and maybe I was right about it. What was I doing? What was I doing? Well, 2014. Okay, so in 2014, I was in Vietnam because I went to Vietnam to teach English. Born in Oregon. Okay, I was born in Oregon in '85, and I went to Bible college. I went to like 4 colleges. I went to 2 Bible colleges, and I wanted to travel the world, and I wanted to just I always wanted to make the world a better place. Always wanted to travel the world since I was 8, and I would think about a lot of things because I always wanted to do everything all the time since I was a little boy. Always wanted to do a lot of things, and that's one of my problems is that I try too hard. I try too hard, and then I end up doing nothing because I'm spinning too many plates, trying too many things, and my mind is going all over the place because in my mind, in my brain, I'm thinking everything. Maybe I have a really high IQ, but you probably don't think that. I know you don't think that. A lot of people don't think that, but I might. Let's not talk about that right now. But I'm like I'm a wannabe Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Will Smith, Billy Graham, and more, and more. George Lucas, Austin Powers, Harry Potter. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I wanna do everything. And I I always talk about this. I always try to talk about this. I always try. I fail. I fail most of the time, but I still try. I still try. I still try to talk about it. I still try to talk about it. But like I'm a workaholic, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a workaholic, but like I'm going really hard and I want to do everything. So unlike a lot of people, because a lot of people they don't have this problem. A lot of people are lazy, but some people are really driven. And if you're driven, you know what I'm talking about. 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 If you're really, really, really driven, really, 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 really driven. And so in 2014, I was trying to teach English. I mean, I was teaching English to some people, and I was doing okay. I was getting better. I was still really bad at it, but I was okay. And compared to some people, I was a little bit better, and I was getting better and better. And I was teaching English for 5 years until 2017. So I was teaching English in Vietnam. So I taught English in Vietnam for 5 years. And in 2014, that was sort of in the middle of those 5 years, or almost, it was almost in the middle. And at that time, I was moving. I was moving. Okay, so I was moving into my new apartment. I had a few apartments. I moved around a few times when I lived in Vietnam. When I lived in Vietnam, I moved around. I mostly lived in the south of Vietnam. I started out in the north around Hanoi for the first two 2 months. For the first 2 months, I was in the north of Vietnam, and then for the rest of the time, I was in Saigon. I visited a few places around Saigon and outside of Saigon. I went to a few places, but I was mostly in Saigon and I moved around Saigon. I moved around Ho Chi Minh City a few times, and I had a few apartments, and I was moving into a new apartment. I was moving into the old ink, and I started thinking to myself, I need to maximize my my ability to make money and help people and teach English. And I don't want to spend all my time riding my bike all over the city teaching English at different houses and coffee shops and McDonald's and Burger King and Materia and all these different cafes and different parks and different places, which I would do. And I would ride my bike. I would ride my bicycle even after I lost my bike or Vietnam Kathy stole my bike. Vietnam Kathy stole my wife, my bike, my chin, my bike. I buy a new bike and then I lose. Somebody steals it like three times, and then I bought a fourth one early in 2014, and I'm riding my bike around, and I'm still riding my bike around in 2014, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna end some of my classes because they're too far away. Even though they're not that far away, but I'm thinking to myself, I want to maximize my time, which is good, but at the same time, you don't want to. you don't want to say no to everything. And it's good to say no, and a lot of people need to learn how to say no, especially if you're a man. You got to learn how to say no to your woman. That's what you learn from Press and Fit. But sometimes you gotta enjoy the moment, and you gotta take it in because it's it's probably not gonna last forever. If there's a good opportunity, like there were some good classes, some good groups, some good students that I had, and I probably should have kept it, but instead I said no, and I ended them prematurely. And part of that was me feeling like I wanted to I wanted to be in control, and I sort of felt bad. I felt a combination of things. Like I was sort of like feeling like I wanted revenge on the people who did me dirty, who did me wrong at times in my life. And so I mostly just wanted to save time. And I didn't want to ride my bike around many, many hours, which I did sometimes in 2014 and even before that in 2013. I was riding my bike around Saigon, and it was good, and there was a lot of opportunities, but I was trying to manipulate everything in a way, and maybe I was thinking in a good way, but I was looking for shortcuts, and I was looking for a way to be the master of everything. I wanted everything, and I wanted it immediately, like that movie I made with my guinea pig, Rara Hercules Roberto. I'm not your boo boo. I'm Rara Woo Woo. Like in the movie that I made in 2000 called I Want It Now, Want It Now, the idea is Rara, the guinea pig. You know my guinea pig? He's like he's like the father in the movie. He like his father, his father is I mean, he's the father. Okay, in the movie he's the father and his wife is Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy from the Muppets, and their son is Darth Vader. Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars. And so the father in the movie, Rah, the guinea pig, is a father, and he's like, I think he wants everything and he wants it right away. Or maybe it was his son. Maybe they're both the same. But that's not good. I mean, it feels good, but you're gonna end up in a bunch of rage. Chris, you never seen my content on YouTube? You never watched me on YouTube? I'm a content creator. I have over 30,000 videos, but they stole over 20,000 videos of mine. They deleted over 20,000 videos. But some of it's still out there. Some of it I try to re-upload. I lost a lot of it, many thousands of hours. But I got banned off TikTok. So this is a new channel. I have a new channel on TikTok, and I lost over 20,000 videos. And so there's no way that you've seen it because they deleted it. If they delete it, that means you didn't see it. I have thousands of hours of content. And today I'm just going over what you got to do in life, whether you're a content creator or not. You got to write it down. You got to write it down. That's the how to. And then I was ranting about myself about 2014 and how I was saying no to some good opportunities as an English teacher. I said no to some students, some classes that I had. I just ended it. And I probably shouldn't have. I mean, I understand why. I didn't want to ride my bike around all the time, but it wasn't a lot. And sometimes you should honor your word. And you probably should just commit to something within reason. Within reason, you probably should. And so for me, I probably should have. I probably should have just kept on doing it because eventually the class would end. Because in my situation, you're gonna have like if you're an English teacher, you're gonna have a class. It's probably not gonna last forever. I mean, for some people, it could last longer than others, but usually a student is gonna learn for a small period of time, and then they're probably gonna stop for any number of reasons. But in my head, I was thinking to myself, I just wanted to maximize my my ability to do everything that I wanted to do, and I wanted to do as soon as possible. And so I was like going after it aggressively, but possibly too aggressively, which is dangerous because you become a maniac, an oatmeal maniac. Man, I don't want to be an oatmeal maniac. So I think I'm losing my voice a little bit. And I'm a little bit annoyed at the DVD player that's making loud noises. I don't like that. I don't know what the recording is going to sound like. I mean, what I'm recording to YouTube. I mean, what I'm recording to TikTok. Not sure what that's going to sound like because this microphone is not connected to the phone. It's connected to the YouTube. And so the YouTube might sound a little bit better. Still not perfect, but a little bit better. A little bit better. A little bit better. A little bit better than TikTok. At least. At least. But oh man. I'm still suffering from I have like allergies to the outside. Outside. I can't go outside. I'm allergic. I gotta stay inside my room forever. I'm allergic to like I don't know what I'm allergic to. Grass, dust, pollen, springtime, summertime. What am I allergic to? I don't know what it is. It might be everything. It might be all of those things. It might be some of those things. I don't know what it is. But it's difficult sometimes. Man, man. So for the record, um, I'm missing a little bit of the dynamic of what was happening in my life in 2014, and I think that was good to get it off my chest. Not it wasn't really a burden. I don't think maybe a little bit, but not really a burden. So I didn't really have to get it off my chest, as they say. But it still feels good, and I like to try to get some of it off, so to speak. I like to let people know, at least for the record, even if Even if nobody's listening, I still want to try. I still want to try. And maybe I'll learn how to do it better. Maybe I'll learn how to talk better someday. Maybe I'll learn how to write better. Maybe I'll learn how to grow a new chin someday. But for now, I'm just an oatmeal man trying to talk, feeling like I'm always going to be really, really, really misunderstood about everything that I say, most of what I do, because a lot of reasons and stuff, long story. But at least, I'm trying. At least. And I probably shouldn't just sit here trying this all the time. This, whatever this is, whatever I'm doing right now, I probably shouldn't do it all the time. Even though I really want to. I really do. Part of me, because I'm so goddamn autistic and bipolar, and as they say, Teresa Collins and stuff. Part of me wants to try to do this all the time, 24/7. Part of me. And another part of me doesn't, but part of me does. Part of me wants to do this all the time, whatever this is. Guys, what should I do? The answer is I probably should try to do this maybe 10 minutes a day, maybe an hour. I don't know. I really don't think, I don't really think. I mean, do I think? Wait a minute. What am I saying? I don't think I should do this all the time, but I really want to. I really want to. I really do. I really do. I really do. But this was not supposed to be a really long stream. This was supposed to be this was supposed to be a 5-minute stream, but it's been over an hour now. Over an hour. So I think I've said everything, even though I'm joking. I didn't say everything. I'll never say everything. And most of the time, I'm just murmuring. I'm blurring my words. Murmuring. What's the word that I'm looking for? Murmuring. I'm looking for another. I know there's another word that I'm looking for. Mumbling. That's the word. Wow. Why was that so difficult to rediscover? Unbelievable. But I watch my videos sometimes, not all the time, because I can't stand my voice. Maybe I might be okay with this voice. Like I might, but a lot of times I cannot stand my own voice and stuff. But sometimes when I am actually watching some of my videos, I'm like, what? What? I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you saying? What are you saying? What did bro say? What is this bro? Mario bro. Not a bra, but a bro. Not a bra, but a bro. What is this bro saying? He's not pronouncing his words, he's not enunciating his words. And then I remind myself. And I think that's part of the power in writing it down. And that's why you gotta write it down. If you want to be a goddamn streamer, if you want to be a goddamn content creator, whether you have something to say or not, whether you have a teleprompter or not, you got to write down daily progress or not progress. You write down whatever you want every day and keep it for yourself. Whether you publish it or not, doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is that you do it and that you pray. Close your eyes and say, Dear Heavenly Father, I pray for a little bit, just a little bit. Just God, just pray for a little bit of, just a little bit more wisdom, strength, patience. Amen. Amen. That's it. That's it. Those three things. I think. I don't know. What did I not say? I don't know. I think that covers everything. Almost everything. Probably. I don't know. What am I missing? But I mean that I think that's pretty good. But it's important to pray like that. I mean, 1 second. You don't have to pray for 10 hours. Some people are like, I'm gonna pray for 10 hours. I'm gonna read my Bible for 10 hours a day, and that might be good. But a lot of people are not gonna do it, and it might be a waste of time for some people, or sometimes you might not. Argentina, okay? Argentina, all right? Argentina, all right, Martin? Argentina all the way. All the way. Go Argentina, all right? Argentina. And Spain, okay, all right. And you just gotta write that down. You just gotta write that down. You just gotta write that down. You just gotta write that down, man. You just gotta write that down. And that's the only way you can make the world greener, one oatmeal at a time. All right? All right. Thank you for watching, everybody.